Hey everyone, my name is Item, and welcome back to the series where I purposely try to get hooked on MMOs, which is still a bad idea no matter how many times I think about it. But anyway, today we're going to be looking at the MMO poster boy, World of Warcraft, and its current expansion, Battle for Azeroth. Since WoW is so well known, I will only be briefly going over everything to do with character creation. You first choose between two sides, the Alliance and the Horde, which are locked in a seemingly eternal conflict, or you can stay neutral by picking the Pandaren race. Depending on your chosen side, you have access to a number of races. For example, Alliance has Dwarf, Night Elf, Gnome, Draenei, and Worgen, while Horde has Orc, Undead, Tauren, Troll, Blood Elf, and Goblin. Race is important in WoW as your chosen race gives unique benefits compared to other races, though it has been significantly toned down in the previous years. I went in knowing that I wanted to be a dual wielder, so I went with Rogue. For race, I chose a Night Elf thanks to buffs to stealth and such, which seemed to gel well with the idea of a rogue being kind of an assassin type class. The character customization was honestly abysmal compared to other MMOs I've played. You only have a few things to customize when it comes to your looks, and none of them are really any different from the others, and the options were very, very limited. Though since I have only made a Night Elf, I can't speak to the customization of the other races. Since I was playing Night Elf, I was thrown to the starting zone at Teldrassil, an island off the northern coast of the larger region known as Kalimdor. No matter what zone you start out with, you are greeted with a narrated exposition dump. In my case, since I was a Night Elf starting in Teldrassil, I was talked to about a Night Elf coming back to life, inspiring the other Night Elves or something as they were soon going to war. The zones in this game are stunning. They have an almost cartoony aesthetic to them, and they're all very unique and absolutely fantastic looking. Not to mention they are also huge, like way bigger than any of the zones I've played in other MMOs. For example, the island of Teldrassil is way bigger than, for example, the Kurthis Western Highlands in Final Fantasy XIV, which is on its own a huge zone for that game. And Teldrassil is just a starting area, so it's small compared to some of the other zones in WoW. So, getting into the tutorial. WoW's tutorial actually doesn't feel like a tutorial in a traditional sense. It throws you straight into the game and puts you in front of the first quest giver. And yeah, standard stuff. But what's great is that if you don't want to do the quest, you can simply run off out of, in my case, Shadow Glen into the larger area. So you can just ignore the main quest, do all the side quests, and straight up leave Teldrassil if you wish, at level 1. I know this because on stream, I played a Night Elf up to, I think on stream I got to level 12, and I stayed in the Teldrassil area. And then off stream, I created another Night Elf, and just straight up just ran to Stormwind at level 1. This sense of freedom and just being able to do whatever the hell you want is exactly what I wanted out of games like Final Fantasy XIV, but was never given the option. So then, let's move on to combat, and combat in WoW goes at a much quicker pace compared to other tab-target MMOs I've played, as the cooldown is only around a second for the abilities that I had unlocked at the time. The only drawbacks is that when you use an ability, you have an energy bar that depletes, and once you empty it, you need to stand around and wait for it to refill. So, at times, after I used up the entire thing, I was pretty much just standing there auto-attacking, and just had to wait a long time actually for this energy bar to refill. And the same thing applies to the health bar in the game, because if you take a beating and you don't have potions or such, which I didn't at the time, you're reliant on auto-regen, as in most games. But auto-regen in this game for health and energy takes forever. I just stand in the same spot for minutes on end after finishing a fight, just waiting for the health bar to refill a substantial amount so I could keep going without getting my ass kicked and being sent to the graveyard. So I've played roughly 7 or 8 hours of WoW in total by this point, and the core gameplay is almost what you would expect from a sandbox MMO, surprisingly enough. You're pretty much free to do anything as long as you're at a level where you don't get your ass kicked. But by my time in WoW, it seems to be a game of creating your own stories and experiences, a thing that used to be common in MMOs, but is pretty much gone in most of the ones today. I was pretty much taking on any quest I could find so I could level quickly when I was playing on stream. But you could also get yourself from the start to the giant city of Stormwind in under 10 minutes if you wanted to, like I mentioned before. Personally, I think that's great. Being able to create your own stories and experiences is one of the things I love most in games. And on top of that, you have everything else that the game offers you with the storylines throughout the world. And with all the great lore surrounding the Warcraft series, they're pretty good, the ones I played. So I really enjoyed playing WoW, but I didn't end up sticking with it. I'll definitely revisit the game after the launch of the game's next expansion called Shadowlands, and likely be making a video where I leveled up max in that expansion. The game would have had me if I didn't have so many other friends playing different MMOs after leaving World of Warcraft and becoming what became known as WoW refugees, especially when Battle for Azeroth initially came out. And according to various accounts I've heard online and in person, World of Warcraft is in a pretty bad state right now, which is quite sad actually. But those are my thoughts on World of Warcraft, but what are yours? If you have any reasons to return to the game immediately, let me know. I'll definitely see any comment as they are a rare commodity here. But with that, my name is Lukeidem, and thank you for watching. Hey, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll stream 4 days a week over on Twitch, so make sure to check that out for streams and such. I may even be live right now. But if I'm not, there are always more videos to check out on the channel if you are interested. And without further ado, have a good day.